Happy Friday, happy summer break. I was recently at a Yankees game in the College World Series and noticed the energy shift at various points, like when switching pitchers. Have you ever thought about how much math impacts watching a sporting event? Leagues are constantly assessing rule changes to make games more interesting. So let's look at how math is involved in some of the newer and potential rules.
You're watching s.t.e.m. Today we'll tackle one STEM topic I learned from experts. Just 4 key questions with each answer under 1 minute or less.
The pace of the game is important. It can positively impact attendance, interest, and revenue. Of course, pace also impacts the players, how quickly they develop a strategy or have to run or pitch. Because of steadily longer baseball games over time, the MLB formally made the pitch timer part of the rules in 2023. The key part of the pitch timer is a set time between pitches. The concept is not new. It's actually been in the MLB rulebook since 1901. One of the first tests of this concept was for a tournament in 1962, which saw success in speeding up the game. The MLB decided to retest this rule in the minor leagues in 2014 with the math driving the thinking. They tested a 20-second clock, which drove improvements with an average reduction of 11 minutes of game time, but then this slowly crept back up as teams adjusted to the new style of play. Leagues then decided to try a 15-second clock, which did see an average reduction of 20 minutes of game time. While this met the needs for pace, teams vocalized concern that this limited strategy, there's a lot to think about with runners on a base, and could physically impact pitchers. With these additional considerations, the timer launched in 2023 as 15 seconds for no runners on base and 20 seconds with runners, now adjusted to 18 seconds with runners. In addition to the pitch clock change in 2023, one of the other big rule changes was how infielders are organized. Before we get into the infielders, let's talk statistics. Statistics is the study of data in order to determine trends or patterns. How often do people go on a road? What time do most people go out for dinner? Or in baseball, where does a player hit the most? The statistics for hits are mapped out in something called a spray chart. It's kind of like if you throw darts and you see where all the darts land. This would be the same thing, but for every ball a player hits over a specific time period, they map out a dot to see where they are likely to hit. With this data, the other team can then adjust where its players stand to try to stop or catch a ball. As an example, if a left-handed player is batting, teams could shift the players to the side of the diamond closer to first base and leave third base more open, since it's less likely for a ball to be hit there. The MLB was on to teams and noticed that because teams were shifting players, there were more outs and less fun in the game. To prevent the shifts, the new rules in 2023 say that you must have 4 people in the infield dirt at the start of a play, as well as 2 people on each side of second base. The result, pretty clear change in the league batting average, which in 2022 was .243 and in 2023 was .248, which leads to more fun. The strike zone is the target area for a pitcher to throw the ball for someone to hit the ball. If the batter doesn't swing but the ball is in any part of the range, it counts as a strike. What is considered the strike zone has gone through a number of changes over the last 75 years, but needs to be fair to both a pitcher and a batter. Currently, the top of the range is the midpoint between the top of a batter's shoulders and the top of the uniform pants, and the lower end is the bottom of a player's kneecap. Sounds easy to determine, right? Not exactly. Not only does this mean the range changes with how a player stands, the lighting, the umpire's squatting angle, the umpire's eyesight all play a role in what is considered in the zone. The league uses math to try to create umpire consistency by evaluating and reviewing their calls, right or wrong. When the MLB introduced this technology, they saw a 25% reduction in the strike zone call variability in the first 5 years and currently tout umpire accuracy of 95%. But given the job is impossible for a human to do perfectly, the MLB has started to test out an ABS system with math at the center of the league's assessment for future use. Should the strike zone be rectangular or more like the super eclipse it is now? What player height should be used as an input to the range? More to come as this progresses. It's hot, it's the bottom of the 6th inning, neither team has scored, and you see the coach walk out to the pitcher's mound to talk to the pitcher and the other players. Sigh. Surprisingly, prior to 2018, there was no limit on how many times a coach could visit a pitcher, but over the last decade, the MLB started to look into improving this part of the game. In 2016, the league implemented a 30-second limit on the mound visit, kind of like how timeouts work in basketball. In 2018, 6 visits per 9 innings was introduced, and in 2024, this was limited to 4 visits, with the caveat that the team could get a 5th visit if all of the other visits were used up by the end of the 8th inning. The MLB came to this decision based on a few different numbers. Mound visits rank as one of the most disliked aspects of the game, especially at the end of the game when you want to see the outcome, and these may be used more often to switch out pitchers. Prior to the rule, there was only an average of 2.3 mound visits, and 98% of the games were under 4 mound visits. The league was focused on reducing game time because it was steadily increasing over time. They tested out these changes in 2023 based on the new rules and a few other changes. The league saw a reduction in average game time of 24 minutes. I love the way that math informs sports. There's truly an opportunity to apply STEM to so many different interests. Now that's a wrap on season 2. We'll be back in the fall. I wish you all a very happy and relaxing summer.